going to be reading Hesiod's Theogony, a couple of pages. I have the Oxford World Classic Edition and a translation by M.L. West from the Muses of Helicon. Let us begin our singing that haunt Helicon's great and holy mountain, and dance on their soft feet round the violet dark spring in the altar of the mighty son of Cronus. And when they have bathed their gentle skin in Perimessos, or the horse's fountain, or holy Olymaeus, then on the highest slope of Helicon they make their dances, fair and lovely, stepping lively in time. From there they go forth, veiled in thick mist, and walk by night, uttering beautiful voice, singing of Zeus, who bears the Aegeis, and the lady Hera of Argos, who walks in sandals of gold, and the daughter of Zeus, the Aegeis bearer, Pallas Athene, and Phoebus Apollo, and Artemis the archer, and Poseidon, earth charioted, shaker of the earth, and holy Themis, and Aphrodite of curling lashes, and Hebe of gold diadem, and fair Dione, Leto, Iapetos, and crooked schemer Kronos, dawn, mighty sun, and shining moon, earth, great Oceanus, and dark night, and the rest of the holy family of immortals, who are forever. And once they taught Hesiod fine singing, as he tended his lambs below holy Helicon. This is what the goddesses said to me first, the Olympian muses, daughters of Zeus, the Aegeis bearer, shepherds that camp in the wild, disgraces, merest bellies. We know to tell many lies that sound like truth, or we know to sing being when we will. So said mighty Zeus's daughters, the shore of utterance, and they gave me a branch of springing bay to pluck for a staff, a handsome one, and they breathed into me wondrous voice, so that I should celebrate things of the future and things that were aforetime. And they told me to sing of the family of blessed ones who are forever, and first and last always to sing of themselves. But what is my business round a tree or rock? Come now, from the Muses let us begin, who with their singing delight their great mind of Zeus the Father in Olympus, as they tell of what is, and what shall be, and what was aforetime, voices in unison. The words flow untiring from their mouths, and sweet, and the halls of their father, loud thundering Zeus, rejoice at the goddess's clear voice spread abroad, and the peak of snowy Olympus rings, and the medicines of the gods. Making divine utterance, they celebrate first in their song the august family of gods, from the beginning, those whom earth and broad heaven begot, and the gods that were born from them, givers of blessings. Second, they sing of Zeus, father of gods and men, how far the highest of the gods he is, and the greatest in power. And again, they sing of the family of men and of powerful giants, to delight the mind of Zeus, in Olympus. Those Olympian muses, daughters of Zeus, the Aegaeis, Bera. They were born in Pieria to Mnemosyne, the goddess of memory, queen of the foothills of Eleutheria, freedom, in union with the father, the son of Cronos. Oblivion of ills and respite from cares, 9 nights Zeus, the resourceful, lay with her, going up to her holy bed far away from the immortals. And when the time came, as the months passed away and the seasons turned about, and the long tale of days was completed, she, Mnemosyne, the goddess of memory, bore 9 daughters, all of one mind, of one spirit, their carefree hearts set on song. Not far from the topmost peak of snowy Olympus. There they have their gleaming dancing places, and their fair mansions, and the graces and desire dwell beside them in feasting. Lovely is the sound they produce from their mouths as they sing and celebrate the ordinances and the good ways of all the immortals, making delightful utterance. So then they went to Olympus, glorying in their beautiful voices, singing divinely. The dark earth rang round them as they sang, and from their dancing feet came a lovely estampie as they went to their father. He is king in heaven. His is the thunder and the smoking bolt, since he defeated his father Cronos by strength. He has appointed their ordinances to the immortals, well in each detail, and assigned them their privileges. This is what the Muses sang, who dwelled in Olympus, the 9 daughters born of great Zeus. Clio and Euterpe, and Thelea and Melpomene, Terpsichore and Erato, and Polymnia, and Urania, and Calliope, who is chief among them all. For Calliope even attends august kings. Whomsoever great Zeus's daughters favor among the kings, that Zeus fosters, and turn their eyes upon him at his birth, upon his tongue they shed sweet dew, and out of his mouth the words flow honeyed, and the peoples all look to him as he decides what is to prevail with his straight judgments. His word is sure, and expertly he makes a quick end of even a great dispute. This is why there are prudent kings. When the peoples are wronged in their dealings, they make amends for them with ease, persuading them with gentle words. When he goes among a gathering, they seek his favor with conciliatory reverence, as if he were a god, and he stands out among the crowd. Such is the Muses' holy gift to men, for while it is from the Muses and far-shooting Apollo that men are singers and guitarists on earth, and from Zeus that they are kings, every man is fortunate whom the Muses love. The voice flows sweet from his lips. Though a man's heart be withered with the grief of a recent bereavement, if then a singer, the servant of the Muses, sings of the famous deeds of men of old, and of the blessed gods who dwell in Olympus, he soon forgets his sorrows, and thinks no more of his family troubles, quickly diverted by the goddess's gifts. Farewell now, children of Zeus, and grant me delightful singing. Celebrate the holy family of immortals who are forever. Those who were born of earth and heaven and of black night, and those whom the briny sea fostered, and to tell how the gods and the earth were born in the first place, and the rivers, and the boundless sea, with its furious swell, and the shining stars and broad firmament above, and how they shared out their estates, and how they divided their privileges, and how they gained all the glens of Olympus in the first place. Tell me this from the beginning, Muses who dwell in Olympus, and say, what thing among them came first? First came the chasm, and then broad-breasted earth, secure seat forever of all the immortals who occupy the peak of snowy Olympus, the misty Tartara, in a remote recess of the broad-pathed earth, and Eros, the most handsome among the immortal gods, dissolver of flesh, who overcomes the reason and purpose in the breasts of all gods and all men. Out of the chasm came Erebus and dark night, and from night in turn came bright air and day, whom she bore in shared intimacy with Erebus. Earth bore first of all one equal to herself, starry heaven, so that he should cover her all about, to be a secure seat forever for the blessed gods. And she bore the long mountains, pleasant haunts of the goddesses, the nymphs who dwell in mountain glens, and she bore also the undraining sea and its furious swell, not in union of love, but then, bedded with heaven, she bore deep swirling Oceanus, Koios and Kreos, and Hyperion and Iapetos, Thea and Rhea, and Themis and Mnemosyne, Phoebe of gold diadem, and lovely Tethys. After them, the youngest was born, crooked schemer Cronos, most fearsome of children, who loathed his lusty father. And again she bore the proud-hearted Cyclopes, thunderer, lightner, and white-bolt, stern of spirit, who gave Zeus his thunder and forged his thunderbolt. In other respects they were like the gods, but a single eye lay in the middle of their forehead. They had the surname of circle eyes, because of this one circular eye that lay on their forehead, and strength and force and resource were upon their works. And again, there were born of earth and heaven 3 more sons, mighty and stern, not to be spoken of, Kotos, Briareos, and Gyges, overbearing children. 100 arms sprang from their shoulders, unshapen hulks, and 50 heads grew from the shoulders of each of them upon their stalwart bodies, and strength boundless and powerful was upon their mighty form. For all those that were born of earth and heaven were the most fearsome of children, and their own father loathed them from the beginning. As soon as each of them was born, he hid them all away in a cavern of earth, and would not let them into the light. And he took pleasure in the wicked work did heaven, while the huge earth was tight pressed inside and groaned. She thought up a nasty trick. Without delay she created the element of grey adamant, and made a great reaping hook, and showed it to her dear children, and spoke to give them courage, sore at heart as she was. And she said, children of mine, and of an evil father, I wonder whether you would like to do as I say. We could get redress for your father's cruelty. After all, he began it by his ugly conduct. And so she spoke. But they were all seized by fear, and none of them uttered a word. But the great crooked schemer, Cronos, took courage, and soon replied to his good mother, "Mother, I would undertake this task and accomplish it. I am not afraid of our unspeakable father. After all, he began it by his ugly conduct." And so he spoke, and mighty Earth was delighted. She set him hidden in ambush, put the sharp-toothed sickle into his hand, and explained the whole stratagem to him. Great heaven came, bringing on the night, and desirous of love he spread himself over earth, stretched out in every direction. His son reached out from the ambush with his left hand. With his right he took the huge sickle with its long row of sharp teeth and quickly cut off his father's genitals and flung them behind him to fly where they might. They were not released from his hand to no effect, for all the drops of blood that flew off were received by the earth. And as the years went round, she bore the powerful Linnaeus and the great giants in gleaming armor, with long spears in their hands, and the nymphs, whom they call Melii, on the boundless earth. As for the genitals, just as he first cut them off with his instrument of adamant and threw them from the land into the surging sea, even so they were carried on the waves for a long time. About them a white foam grew from the immortal flesh, and in it a girl formed. First she approached holy Cythera. Then from there she came to seagirt Cyprus, and out stepped a modest and beautiful goddess, and the grass began to grow all round beneath her slender feet. Gods and men call her Aphrodite, because she was formed in foam, and Cytherea because she approached Cytherea, and Cyprus-born because she was born in wave-washed Cyprus, and genial because she appeared out of genitals. Eros and fair Desire attended her birth and accompanied her as she went to join the family of gods. And this has been her allotted province from the beginning among men and immortal gods. The whisperings of girls, smiles, deceptions, sweet pleasure, intimacy, and tenderness. As for those children of great heaven, the father who begot them railed at them and gave them the surname of Titans, saying that straining tight in wickedness they had done a serious thing, and that he had a title to revenge for it later. Night bore hateful doom, and dark fate and death. Night bore sleep, she bore the tribe of dreams. And secondly, gloomy night bore cavil and painful misery, bedded with none of the gods, and the Hesperides, who mined fair golden apples beyond the famed Oceanus, and the trees that bear that fruit, and the fates she bore, and the mercilessly punishing Furies, who prosecute the transgressions of men and gods. Never do the goddesses cease from their terrible wrath until they have paid the sinner his due. And baleful night gave birth to resentment also, an affliction for mortal men. And after she bore deceits and intimacy, and a cursed old age, she bore hard-hearted strife.